Now you've done quite a bit of work, so I wanted to ask, how did you start on this path, and when did you know that you
Mhm.
wanted to be, because you consider yourself an anchorman, or do you consider yourself an artist, a performing artist?
Well, a news, yeah, I guess, a news anchor would be the, the title of my profession, but I think that there is an art in anything that involves communicating and
Yes.
talking, and obviously I talk for a living, but I've always felt that my career, whatever it would be, would have to do something involved communicating. And when I was, I guess, in ninth grade, I was kind of a jock. I played a little baseball, I ran some track, played some
Oh.
basketball, and during one of the hiatuses of whatever sport, maybe it was track, my music teacher came up to me in the ninth grade and said, "We need extras to be in Oklahoma." And
Oh.
and I had never been, I'd never done, never been, and so I didn't know what it involved. I said, "What does that mean?" She said, "I need you just to kind of walk on stage in a cowboy hat and some overalls and maybe sing a song." And I didn't think it was a bad idea because I knew there was a couple of the cheerleaders that I had kind of had my eye on in school that were also in the production. So there was that element too, that maybe it would get me a little closer to the one young lady I might have had my eye on. But I did this. I was in Oklahoma. I was in the chorus. There wasn't that much choreography for me to learn, fortunately, at that time. But it was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of people. And once you get bit by that bug, so to speak, when
Right.
you hear the applause of people, it's different from a sporting event, where people are cheering you on. You get that immediate gratification of being on stage. And I really hadn't done anything, but it was great and it was a lot of fun. And that's when I really fell in love with the theater. And from then I started wanting to, growing up in New York, I wanted to go to Broadway and see some plays.
Awesome.
I remember I remember my folks taking me to see The Wiz
Ah,
on Broadway.
yes.
And so it was a turning point for me because I fell in love with the theater. I wanted to be a part of the theater. And it also helped me to be a better communicator because the next play I did in 10th grade was Guys and Dolls, and I had a small role in there. I think I was like Horseface Harry or
Right.
one of the gamblers, and I had a few lines, and it helped me to be a better communicator because I was speaking out loud. And in any profession that we do, whether it's news or teaching or you're going to have to talk in front of people at some point. So that was a good motivator for me, and it helped me decide that if I didn't go into acting, because I didn't think I was really good enough to be, to try to pursue acting, then maybe communications would be good as well. And so thank God, I've been able to, have a career doing something that's been my dream. But I've always had theater as a hobby, so to speak, because I've been to Broadway shows throughout my life, and I've always had the yearning to, if not professionally, then maybe as a hobby, maybe go be on stage, do some, summer stock, or be with the Morristown Theater Company with my son and my wife,
Yes.
and it has been a wonderful experience, and I think it has helped me as a communicator, as a journalist, as an anchor person, because there is an aspect of acting to what we do in the news. I mean, there's a lot of tragedy that we deliver on television, and sometimes we have to be stoic about it. Sometimes we have to try and be, even though we're saying something that might be terrible, that might be tragic, that we have to try and be as stoic as possible, and not and try to be objective as possible as well. And that's where you kind of have a little bit of acting flair in there as well. So I think being in the theater, growing up, doing plays, has helped me be a better journalist and a better communicator. So it's kind of been full circle for me. And now just doing plays and working with you guys, those years when we did Guys and Dolls, and
Yes.
it was a lot of, it's been great. It's been a great experience. And to be able to expose my family, my son and my wife, to the theater as well is just an added benefit.